Hi, welcome to Glow's Kindred Kitchen, and I'm Glow. Well, today I wanted to share a recipe with you guys that we find very good, and it's called Grandma's Hot Fudge Pudding. And you bake it in the oven, and I gotta tell you, it is delicious. And some people know it as a chocolate cobbler, but they're all basically the same recipe everywhere. I've found them in cookbooks. So anyway, that's what I've always called it, is Grandma's Hot Fudge Pudding. So let's go ahead and get started. I went ahead and I pre-measured most of the ingredients out to make it easier for us. And what you need to do is you need to sift, and I have a sieve here, 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 2/3 cup of sugar, just granulated sugar, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and 2 tablespoons of cocoa, just baking cocoa. And I'm using just the regular. Sometimes I do put midnight cocoa in this, and that makes it even richer, but I decided today just to use this. And this is 1/8 of a cup, and 1/8 of a cup is 2 tablespoons. And the last ingredient for the dry ingredients is 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. And I used the iodized sea salt for this. And this is 1/4 of a teaspoon. So then all you do is you just tap your sieve and let it go through. And the reason you do this is to get any lumps or anything, worked out of your flour and your cocoa. As you can see here, there's some lumps in there, and that was from, just shipping and stuff of the flour and the cocoa. So we can get rid of those lumps very easily by just taking a spoon and just kind of work it through. And by doing that, you are sifting it so that we don't have those lumps going on. So there we go. So I'm just going to place this over here so I can wash it in a little bit. So you just want to kind of blend that nicely. And then the next step is we have 1/2 of a cup of 1/2 and 1/2. And then to that, we have 2 tablespoons of melted butter. So, and it says to combine it all. So we're going to go ahead and just pour this butter into the 1/2 and 1/2. And then it calls for 1 teaspoon of real vanilla extract. And you can use different flavoring. Sometimes I do almond in this, just depends. But we're going to do vanilla today because I'm adding some pecans to it as well. So we're going to go ahead and stir that up. And we're going to bring this over here. And we're just going to pour that in. And we're just going to work this together. So I'll be right back after I finish combining this, and then we'll get to the next step. As you can tell, I have stirred this up, and see how thick this batter is?
Very thick.
It smells good already with that cocoa and the sugar and vanilla in there. And of course the butter. So the next step is, it says to add 1 cup of nuts. You can add walnuts, hazelnuts, pecans, whatever you have. I had some pecans on hand, and you want them to be in bite-sized pieces. So you just want to fold that into your batter lightly. And I have my oven preheating to 350 degrees. And I have buttered a 1.5 quart baking dish here. I would say that's probably good enough. See what it looks like?
Looks good, Miss Glow.
So I'm going to go ahead and put this right into this dish.
Pretty thick.
Yeah, it's almost like brownie batter. Too bad we don't have smell-o-vision so you guys can smell this already. It smells
Losing some on the counter. Losing some on the counter, Miss Glow there.
Am I? Over here?
Yeah, a little bit. Not
That's
on the edge
all
of the
right.
bowl.
It's all right. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, there are no eggs in this recipe. The first time I made it, I thought, this is odd. Maybe it was a misprint, but turns out really good. Okay. Let me just wipe off my hands here. Move this. So the next step is it says to combine 1 cup of light brown sugar, and you always pack it well. I use just a half a cup measuring cup, so that's why you see 2 of them there. And then 1/4 of a cup of cocoa. So we're going to combine these 2 ingredients. You just want to get this mixed up pretty good. And I use the buttered Pam spray for this, just so you guys know. But you can butter it, you can, but the main thing is you want to make sure it's well greased. Yeah, that looks good. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to sprinkle this. Oops, there was a couple little lumps there. Over the top. It's been a while since we've made this, so I'm looking forward to it. There we go. And then let's just get that kind of even. The last thing is you pour 1 1/3 cups of boiling water, and this is very hot. I had just taken it up, and it is, you know, just under the boiling stage, but you just pour it over the top. You know, some of these old-timey recipes are just like the best. And they're so easy. As you can tell, most of the time you would have all these ingredients in your cupboard. And look, it took no time at all to get this put together. Now I'm going to go ahead and put it in the oven at 350 degrees. And let's see what my recipe says here. I think it's a half an hour. Yep, half an hour. So I'll be back in 30 minutes and we'll see what it looks like. Well, I just took Grandma's hot fudge pudding out of the oven, and I got to tell you, it smells delicious.
It really smells good, Miss Glow.
Yeah, so we're going to have to let this cool a little before we try it, but it's best if you eat it when it's warm. And a good way to serve it is to either serve it with some whipping cream or some vanilla ice cream or a mint ice cream, whatever you have on hand.
We have both.
Oh, so anyway, we'll be back with you in just a little bit. Hi, well, here's our pudding, and it's cooled enough, I think, that we can take a bite. Oh yeah, look at that pudding in there.
Looks rich.
Isn't that amazing how that turns out like that? And there's no eggs in that. That's just Hard to believe. And I'm going to take a little bit of vanilla ice cream. And I'll put it right here on the side. So I'm going to let it cool a little bit more because you can tell it's really steaming. So I'll be back in just a few minutes to sample for you. Well, we just got done taking a picture of this for our video as well, but doesn't that just look delicious? I did cook it for 35 minutes instead of the 30. Reason being is sometimes I do it in an 8x8 pan, square pan. This time I decided to do it in this, and this is makes it a little bit deeper. Because of that, it took the additional time to bake. But oh, you guys, this is definitely a winner. I haven't made this in a while.
Looks good.
It's so creamy. You can taste the pudding and those pecans in it. It's just delicious. I wish you were here to have a dish of this with us. It would be so fun. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you have, please like and subscribe to our channel and give me a comment. I'll talk to you later. Bye.